Giant Simple. Today, my name is Amy Ballantyne, power to the people pleasers. So excited to have my guest, Bobby Aldridge, here. Welcome, Bobby.
Hey, thanks for having me on, Amy. Appreciate it.
Bobby, you are awesome. I have an excitement for this conversation, but it's a little bit personal because my husband is so into baseball and you are involved in supporting athletes of all levels, which we're going to talk about. But you are a physiotherapist. You've spent many decades as an athlete, student, and educator of physical movement, and you even traveled with Andre Agassi from 1995 to 1998. That's pretty cool. And I'm excited to share that Bobby's mission here is to help others move with ease, grace, and power to eliminate pain, reduce the chance of injury, and maximize performance. That's pretty awesome. And I think all of us would like to move in a more simple way and feel the difference in our bodies this way. And really, I'm starting to notice this as I'm creeping into a different age. So I'm keen to learn from you today and have this conversation. But first, Bobby, everyone on Power to the People Pleasers answers the main question: have you ever been a people pleaser? And if yes, what did that look like in your life?
Well, yes, because I literally do it every day, and I'm, helping people, and I'll do more every day because people will call me like when I'm off, and then I'll help them, and then they want more time. Can I come tomorrow? And I was telling you the story. It's funny. I was working literally in Detroit a couple weeks ago, and I'm training their whole staff. So I'm working all day, and I meet some of the members, and they go, "Oh, can you train me? I'll come tomorrow and train." And I'm like, I didn't say no. I said, "Sure." And I'm training the member, and then some more members want to train. And remember, I'm training the staff. I'm there to train the staff for 4 days. So I'm trying to fit in the members after and before or at lunch. And it was like, talk about pleasing, 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 pleasing. I was doing it 2 weeks ago. So I know as a health, person that I have to back down a little bit, take some time for myself. So I think about it, but I'm a better coach in the way of helping you coach and tell you this than I am for myself. But I do know I need to take my time off. Like golf, I play golf once a week, but I haven't
Good.
played in 7 weeks
Mhm.
because I've been helping on those Wednesdays all the people that need my help instead of golfing and getting my downtime to
Mhm.
relax. So yes, I would say I'm a people pleaser that way.
So you relate. And so maybe, this week you might think about how you've just talked about this on the podcast and take a little bit of time for you. But you know what I love is even though you are saying yes to things, you know the importance of moving our body and you clearly have been living and breathing this your whole life. I'd love for you to share, you got into this passion for a variety of reasons. Can you share a little bit about how you got started with all of this?
Well, I started out, I played basketball and baseball at the University of San Francisco, and I broke my back in a car accident in college. So I missed a season. And I had broken my ankles in basketball and lost another season. So I've been through a gamut of injuries, and I got a degree from USF in kinesiology. And then I started becoming a trainer, and I started noticing how mobility was really important, but not till later. I didn't understand the importance of mobility. So last year I had two hip replacements. So I literally had both of my hips worked on last year, and now I can move like a 20-year-old. The reason I had the hip replacements was because we didn't do mobility. We didn't do any soft tissue work. We didn't lengthen, we didn't strengthen in the way you should and soft tissue and tighten up with bands. We used to just lift heavy. If it hurt, do another set. Don't be a pussy. Keep going. It's
Yeah.
like that mentality. So I was bone on both hips. One of my hips was so bad, I didn't notice it hurt because the other one hurt more. And
Oh, geez.
I told the doctor, I said, no, 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 my other hip will be fine. Once you do this hip, he's all, no, you're going to need two hip replacements. And I'm like, no way. This one doesn't hurt. I'm fine. After I had the hip replacement, I started feeling the pain on this one going, wow, this one does hurt. I didn't even notice the pain because the other one hurt so much. So
Mhm.
it was like, this one feels good. And so I understand pain. I understand that. But over the years, is what I always say is the key to feeling great is improving your mobility and reducing your pain. And if you can do that with the metrics-based exercises I teach, you can see where you are in space and improve that over time. That's the magic of what I teach. So I work with pro athletes and I work with regular people. The first time I work with both, they do the same stuff. How's that possible? Because
Yeah.
the
How is that
body
possible?
the body was made to move a certain way. So I'm not going to take you if you can't foundationally move properly, why would I add strength to dysfunction? That's what everybody does. When you add strength to dysfunction, that's what causes the issues with how people feel. And then they say my back hurts or my neck hurts or my shoulder hurts. You can fix all of that stuff. One of the funniest stories I had was this baseball San Francisco Giants, the doctor, his wife, she comes and sees me and she has back pain for 9 months. She has access to all the San Francisco Giants top people, okay?
Wow.
Acupuncturists, physical therapy, all the movement specialists she worked with. Still had pain. I saw her 3 Wednesdays in a row. On the third Wednesday, she went out and played golf on Thursday. She shoots the lowest round of golf she's ever shot, pain free. On Friday, she plays golf again and beats that score. So the husband calls me and goes, "What the heck are you doing with her?"
Yeah,
Right?
what did you do?
So he comes over and works with me for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks into it, he says, "Have you ever thought about writing a book on this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I've been working on it for a few years. And last year, I wrote 3 books. I wrote
Mm,
one for golf, one for physical therapy, and then one for the athletes, which is the average person. I call everybody an athlete, by the way.
mhm.
So if you
Yeah.
want to drive, if you want to walk, if you want to talk, you're an athlete. So
Mhm,
we want to perform better to do what we love to do. And the
mhm.
metrics help you do that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So I'm curious, you have it's called BAMmetrics. Tell me about that. How
So I used to travel a lot with different pros I was with. And when I'd be gone for 2 or 3 weeks, they'd get lost in what they were doing. So now I have the tools, the mat, the blocks, the bands, a strap, and a vest. They have numbers to them. So when I teach you how to do the exercises, you go, "Oh, I know where to put my feet now. Oh, I know where to put my knee when I do that exercise. I know what band to use and how wide my feet are." So it makes it super simple for people to do the exercises. And one of the things is, I mean, you literally buy my mat blocks and bands, you do it at your home, you follow the videos. I have videos that you'll follow, and it teaches you, it tells you how to foam roll and then do the exercise. Foam roll, do the exercise. Now you're ready to use the bands to tighten it, to get it stronger and hold that. And the way I explain it to simplify it for you guys, if you want to feel good, you have to mobilize, you have to soft tissue, and then you have to strengthen. You
Mhm.
cannot strengthen first. If you strengthen dysfunction, you're only strengthening the issues that you have. So eventually you're going to have a compensation that leads to
Yeah.
pain. Okay. So if I can mobilize you first and get you moving properly, soft
Mhm.
tissue work, take out the knots, and then strengthen it, it's like typing code, right?
Yeah.
If I type code and the code doesn't work, but I push enter and save it, the code doesn't
It's no
work.
good. Yeah.
It's no good.
Can you explain for people who maybe aren't familiar, mobilizing? Like you're talking about getting the knots out. So they're doing this kind of work at home. Can you give some examples of what that might mean?
Yeah, so people say flexibility, like, "Oh,
Okay.
I have good flexibility." So, for example, if you lay on your back and you lift your leg up, how high can your leg come up to 90 degrees? That's really good. If it can go to 90 degrees, that's what you want. Okay, you don't
Mhm.
need to be a yogi and go further, just 90 degrees. Now, if you don't have the mobility in your hip, that's how it hinges from the hip.
Yeah.
You'll say my flexibility is terrible, right? But I can do a trick to teach you how to mobilize and move your hip properly, that all of a sudden your leg goes from here. I'll test you, you'll be here. When I'm finished with you today, right now, you'll go here
Wow.
immediately. Wherever anybody is, I can get them to raise it higher. I did not make you more flexible, I made you more mobile.
Right.
That's the difference of flexibility. Flexibility is the muscle, how the muscle moves, right? The
Mhm.
length of it, that's flexibility. But mobility is how far. And a good example to show you guys that you can kind of really understand this. If I tell you to put your feet as wide as you can go, okay? Put
Yep.
your hands on the ground, go as wide as you can go, okay? Now from here, take your hands off the ground and lift up. Okay. That's
Yep.
mobility. If you're really wide, you won't be able to get up. So you have the range of motion, the flexibility, but you're going to be like, oh God, I'm stuck. Ugh. And so you have to come up like that. You
Right.
literally, you can't do this, right?
Hmm.
That's the difference of flexibility, which is the length, or
Mm-hmm.
mobility, using that length to move. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
That's the
That's a great
easy.
description.
That's the easiest way I could separate the difference for everyone, where it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So people stretch all the time and then they say, I'm not getting more flexible. Right.
Mm.
But if I mobilize you with the simple exercises, like I said, if you guys just put in your email, send me an email, you'll get this PDF with some exercises that you can work on that
Mm-hmm.
will immediately mobilize you, and it will
Amazing.
teach you how to do these things.
Yeah,
So,
I'll include your email in the show notes so people can reach out for I think you called it a BAM Fitness 15 minutes a day guide, right?
yep, it's super simple to follow. You just do these exercises, do them every day, every other day,
Mhm.
with whatever you're doing. This is the whole thing. What I teach is complementary to whatever you do, whether it's
Yeah.
yoga, where you tell me I'm super flexible. I have more
Mhm.
people injured in yoga because they're really flexible, but they're not
Mhm.
real mobile. They can't
Yeah.
hold a position with weight. Okay. That's the difference of a football player super tight and strong and a
Mhm.
yogi. You need to be both in between. So
Yeah.
most of the yogis, their body weight's strong, they're mobile in a lot of ways they can move, but they don't have that strength when I throw weight on them to
Mm.
handle that, more of that strength issue that they're lacking. Where the football player needs more mobility, he's got
Mhm.
lots of strength, lots of that tight muscle, but it's not lengthened and it's not mobile enough. And you saw
Mhm.
this in the Super Bowl yesterday when that pulled his Achilles, pulled his
Yeah.
hamstring, the other guy. These are non contact injuries. Okay.
Mhm.
They're not mobile. They're
Yeah.
strong. They're not mobile. So, yeah, if
I
that makes
appreciate
sense.
that. Yeah, for sure.
Sure.
And I'd love, we're power of the people pleasers. We are here individuals who sometimes say, I don't have time to take care of myself. I don't have time because I'm so busy doing everything for everybody. What is your routine when you are doing so many things to help so many people? What does your movement routine look like?
So I try to teach you guys, and this is what I do with the corporate wellness programs.
Mhm.
I get in there and I teach the corporate people who are not workout people, who just want to
Yeah.
feel better or fix a neck, shoulder, back pain, something going on. How do I fix that? I set it up where you do it throughout the day. And the thing is,
Mm,
I'm telling you, do you guys brush your teeth once or twice a day, every day? Or do you brush your teeth once a week, twice a week?
right.
Right? Think about this. But that's
Yeah.
how we treat our bodies. So I want you to mix these in throughout the day. I don't want you to set time aside to do half an hour. I'd
Mhm.
rather you spread it out. It's like water. Are you going to drink a gallon in the morning and be done? Or
I'm
are you going
so
to
with you.
or you're going to drink a gallon throughout the day and feel better. Okay.
Yes.
That's mobility. That's feeling good. That's
Mhm.
health for life. That's a pain free, comfortable, do what you love. It's easy. It's simple. These movements are very simple. Like the blocks back there, I lay on those every night before bed.
Oh,
What's
cool.
that
Okay.
do? It opens up my chest and shoulders and my T spine so I don't have a neck issue. I don't have a
Mhm.
T spine issue because of all the people that sit at computers and get rounded. All the people that sit all
Mhm.
day are rounded. So at the end of the day, I'm going to open that up by laying on those blocks, right?
Mm.
Those blocks are underneath my arms and I'm just laying there relaxing. So it opens my chest and shoulders and I feel better. So for
Mm.
me, if you want to know like what I do, I wake up in
Yeah.
the morning, I walk like an old man towards the shower. I get in there and I start to mobilize. So I'll literally do a runner stretch in the shower, which
Interesting.
opens up my whole back, and I'll reach up over my head. I'll grab my tricep for a second. And then I feel, okay, got the day started. So I'll start it like that every morning in the shower. Then I have a client that's coming, right? And before I jump on camera with them, I might do some windmills and I'll do
Mhm.
one set of 20. I come off that, I have my client. In between the client, I'll do a runner stretch. I'll do it again right here. Okay. Get
Yeah.
off with another call. I've got my ball. I'll lay back. I got 1 minute. I'm about to get on camera. 1 minute while I'm waiting. I'm just laying here, opening up, right? Then I go another call, whatever I'm doing, and I'll mix it in. So by the end of the day, I don't have a fitness routine I do. I did all
Mm,
this stuff throughout the day. I'm
I
literally
love that.
like I'm like the Tin Man. I'm just oiling the joint, and then I oil
Yes.
that joint, and then I oil that joint, and then I'm going to watch TV now for an hour or two. So I'll sit
Mhm.
on the ground in front of the TV and I'll roll my calves out, or I'll
Mhm.
roll my IT band out, or I'll stretch my adductor. But I do stuff throughout the day and
Mhm.
don't consider it a workout. Now, I will go to the gym maybe twice a week,
Mhm.
okay, where I'll get my 45 minutes or an hour of whatever I want to strengthen, right?
Yeah.
I'll literally go strengthen and do stuff that way. But all the
Mhm.
mobility stuff is done throughout the day, every day. And like I
Mhm.
said, do you brush your teeth twice a week? That's how
I
everybody
love
treats
that.
their body. Oh, I go to the
Yeah.
gym 3 times a week, right? That's only three
Yeah.
times a week for an hour. That's only 3 hours out of 24 hours a day for 7 days. Big deal. What do you think that's going to change? Not
Mhm.
much, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so difficult for people to make a change.
You know what I love the most about what you just described in your life is you started this by saying, yes, I'm a people pleaser. I say yes to lots of things, but you have literally role modeled out how movement is inserted in moments of your day and it is on purpose, but also it sounds like it's just a part of your lifestyle now, right?
Well, you just said the thing. I don't call diets when people say they're on a diet.
I know.
It's change your lifestyle
Mhm.
or you're always going to be on a diet,
Yeah.
right? How many
Yeah.
people lose 20, gain 20, lose 20, gain 30, lose 20, gain 40? They go the other way. How about
Mhm.
lose a pound a month forever and then
Yeah.
stay there? It's
Yeah.
better. It's better.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been doing this a long time. You can get fired up. It's January. Oh, I'm changing my routine. It's going to be 4 weeks of going at it. I'm going to lose 30 pounds. And they do it. But by
And then
December, they've gained all 30 back and 10 more. And
mhm.
that goes on every year. That's why you got to change your habits
Yeah.
slowly too. But like I
Yeah.
said, I'm going to, like I said, that PDF's just to show you a few of those. So
Mhm.
take now those exercises and do one a day.
Yes. Yes, and
Spread it out
add
now.
to that, right?
Yeah, then do
Yeah.
that for 2 weeks. Make it a habit of I'm gonna do one a day. In the third week, now let's do two a day.
Mm.
Pick two a day. Do that for 3 weeks. Then go to four a day. So you're building the habit of doing this. That's the
Mhm.
way to make change. Okay.
Yeah.
It's like alcoholics. Okay. They go to their meetings every week,
Yes.
right? Every week. If you miss, they break down.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. It's all this is there and we all know this stuff, but
Mhm.
implementing it is the hard part because you're inherently people chase the shiny object. So they're
Mhm.
always looking for the easier way, the shinier object, this or that. And it's like if you just change one thing at a time, it's incredible the difference years later. Like
Yeah.
I tell this to the kids when I train like 12-year-old kids. I'll have a group and I'll say, hey guys, how would you guys like me to give you $1 a day for the next 365 days?
Mm.
And to kids, it's like no big deal, right? But I said, what if I gave you $15,000 today? Would that motivate you? Then they're like, yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
guys, that's the same thing over time that I'm giving
Mm.
you $15,000. It's just going to take 10 years,
Mm.
15 years. So what happens when you're 20 years into it and I add up all 365 for 20
Mhm.
years? There's
Yeah.
your 15 grand where they're like, oh my God, so yeah, that's how everything is. So
Mhm.
forget sports, forget whatever you want to be good at. A little bit every day gets you there better. I'd rather you do 5 minutes of something every day than
Same.
an hour 3 times a week because you will maintain that because it's
Mm.
called doable. And if
Yeah.
doable is doable, you get a result. So
Yeah. I love that.
simplify.
That's the
Simplify.
same kind of thing that I always talk about when I'm speaking with clients as well is this idea that our movements matter, all of the movements matter, and they combine together, and if you can do them consistently, this is the key, right? Is that consistent over time, which you're absolutely saying. So I'd love to know, we're nearing the end of our episode here. What When you think of everyone as an athlete, and if there was one thing, I know we're going to send the link for the PDF so people can get that from you. But what is the one thing, if people were to start with from what you teach, that would make the starting line be exciting to people?
Well, just to feel better, like to
Hmm.
immediately start noticing things.
Yeah.
I'd really say, I'd really say there's three things for anyone to do that's simple:
Okay.
the wall windmill, the runner stretch, and then lay on your side and move your arm in a circle just to kind of
Mm,
feel how your thoracic spine feels. You
mm.
can't give you one because everybody has an issue somewhere.
For sure. For
And
sure.
you know what I mean? So you're going to have
Yeah.
a shoulder, somebody else is going to have a back, somebody else is going to have
Mhm,
a knee. So I can't say one to cover all. I
mm.
could say windmill, but you might be really kyphotic and like this, and you're just like, it's so uncomfortable. They can't even get up here to do this,
Right.
right? So
Right.
it's almost
Yeah.
like stupid to give them the wall windmill to start,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
could give them a runner stretch and lay on the ground and rotate their arms,
And
and they'll
that
be
would
fine.
get them
And that
to being able to
Yeah,
do.
so
Yeah.
let me show you guys so it makes sense in a way of the runner stretch is one that you would use just a chair. So this is why I teach it at a corporate wellness program. I literally tell the bosses when you have a phone call, right? Just flip the chair there, put your feet in a line. This is how you find your spot is kneel down behind. I have numbers on the mat, so I know I'm 34. So I go like this and I hold this for like 45 seconds. Then I switch my feet. Okay. Now,
Mm,
if you're a beginner, a lot of people will struggle at this height and go, oh, God, this is so tight because
mhm,
it's pulling from your foot up your calf, up your
mhm,
hamstring, up your back. And I guarantee you, Greenlaw yesterday, plays for the Niners, doesn't do that exercise. That's
mm,
why he pulled his Achilles. He doesn't have that range of motion through his hip, through his knee, through his ankle,
mm.
and so he's a little compromised, and that little jog out to the pulled his calf. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. There's other things I would add to what he's doing, but I know I probably could pick him apart pretty fast to go, oh, he's missing these three things.
Right.
Right. And this is a pro athlete. So what do you think the average person's missing?
Mhm,
Right. Do these
mhm.
simple things, like I said. So that's the runner stretch. And then the other one I was talking about is you use this block, you lay on your side. So if you're really unflexible, you're going to put this up at the highest, and then you're going to put your hand here, and then you're just going to circle your arm around like this. Big
Awesome.
circles up and around. Oh, this, and then it's opening up your chest as you do this.
Yeah.
Chest, shoulders, T spine, lot of variables that you're having issues with. So, can you hear me okay?
I can. Yeah, I
Okay.
really like that you're demonstrating as well. I think this is valuable for people to see. We're talking about mobility, we're talking about movement, and you're doing it.
Yeah.
So thanks.
Yeah. So the key here is I'm on my side, my knee is up on a block, so it's keeping it in the same range of motion. So when I change sides, I can check how do I feel on this side at 10 inches? Because
Yeah.
most people can't put their knee on the ground and circle and touch the ground. They don't have
Right.
that range of motion. So the block helps with that position right there.
Mm.
Okay. So I said those three to simplify it. But a fourth one that everyone should be doing if you have these blocks is the one I said you should be laying down like this. And do you see my feet right now? See
Yep.
my feet? See how they drop to the ground like this?
Yes, to the side.
Most men will be like this.
Oh,
They
okay.
can't get their feet here. Why is that?
Interesting.
They have no rotation in their femur, in their leg,
Yeah.
right? So this is opening up my chest and shoulders, but it's also getting that rotation
Rotation.
of my femur here while I'm open this way. So you look
Mhm.
like this on the
Yep.
ground. And what's doing the work is gravity. Gravity is kind of pulling that tension out of your body. And I do that every night for like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, on the, and I don't really feel it, but
Mm.
it literally is just taking out a little bit of tension wherever it is.
Yeah.
I don't have to feel it. It's passively doing it. So
Yeah.
I mix passive exercises with active exercises. Make sense?
Awesome. I love it.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
I appreciate you showing. That was very, very helpful. Thank you.
sure. Yeah,
So,
awesome.
what's the last message of inspiration from Bobby Aldridge? You've got a lot of things that you can share, I know, but your last to
Yeah.
wrap it up, and then tell the listeners how they can find you.
Well, the main thing is you guys can do this. I mean, like I said, it's from pro athletes to weekend warriors and everybody in between. But for health and wellness, this isn't about like fitness. This is health and wellness. You need the mat, blocks, and bands to start. So if you go to my website and you look at the stuff, the mat, the blocks, and the bands is what you need to get started. I have a program in there that gives you 4 training sessions with me live on Zoom for half an hour on that. So I'll coach you through it. I'll teach you, me and you live, so you can tell me, oh, my back hurts, and I can add a little bit of extras in there. But the other thing is you could just order the mat, blocks, and bands, and then I can send you the videos so you have the videos to watch. And that's, again, it's like me live talking to you and teaching you. But if you have real ailments where you got like a knee problem or a back problem or a shoulder, it's usually better. See you move, and then I
Mm,
make some adjustments for you. Because maybe I tell you you have a shoulder issue, you're not going to use those blocks on the 12 inches. Make sure you're down on the 6 inches.
mm,
Those sort of things. How do you get started with that injury? That's where it helps with that. But mobility is the key. If you want to improve performance and reduce pain, it is the key. And it's simple. It's all metrics based. You guys are going to know I'm on the 6 inch side. Oh, my feet are 3 boxes apart. Oh, I can put my feet 40 inches apart. So anyone can do this, and it's your number. It's not what number do I need to get to. There's
mm.
no specific number. It's your number.
I
So
love
I've made
that.
it as simple as I can. So
I know, when you said it was like fitness for dummies, I was like, well, that sounds great, right? Like, let's
yeah,
simplify so we reduce the excuses of
yeah,
I didn't remember how to do it properly or I didn't remember, right? You're really taking the guesswork out of it for people, which I love.
yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. And tell people, Bobby, where can people find you?
Go to BAMmetrics.com, and then you can see all the tools and the classes I run. And if you scroll down just a little bit below the fold, if you have a laptop, you can see athlete, corporate wellness, and that sort of thing. And then make a decision on what's good for you. But
Amazing.
for everyone out there, I recommend the mat, blocks, and bands for sure, because it's a life thing. It's not just a
Mm,
shortcut. Hey, 6 weeks we're going to do. No, this is forever. And
mhm.
do it at home and take your time. Keep brushing the teeth.
Yes, yes. And go brush your teeth too, right? Amazing. Well, it was so great to have you on Power to the People Pleasers. Thank you so much for being here today, Bobby.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Awesome. And for all those who have tuned in yet again, please, please continue listening to Power to the People Pleasers. We're so grateful that you're listening in. Drop us a comment, a rating, and stay tuned for the next episode coming soon. Have a great day.